Hello, it's Amy from Softwind Crafting. I'm here in the Rio Grande Valley. It's a very warm beginning to our week of Christmas. Out from school, getting just ready to celebrate Christmas. My kids are coming down. I'm very excited about that. But anyway, I wanted to share with you this week another card made with the Snowflake Kisses bundle. So here we have a photopolymer stamp set with a lot of different sayings. So this is not necessarily a Christmas card set. In fact, really none of the sentiments that are here on the in the box have anything really to do with Christmas. There is a happy winter, there is let it snow, but other than that, it's just kind of like sentiments to send to people that you love. And today I'd like to make a thank you card, but it doesn't say thank you on here, but it does have the sentiment, you're one of a kind. And I think that is a great way to build up a thank you card with that on our front. So we're going to use this. We're also going to use the die set that comes with the bundle, Snowflake Kisses dies. And believe it or not, I was making my card today. I pulled out my snowflakes, put them down so I can run them through the die cut, my cut and emboss machine, and the snowflake disappeared. I looked and looked and looked for it, cannot find it. I still can't find it. Looked all over my floor, looked through my bundles that were on the floor. I can't find it. So I'm hoping it's stuck to something and it will show up, but right now I'm very perturbed that I lost my snowflake. But anyway, so this is what we're going to use. We're going to actually use the two larger snowflakes in making the card, and we're also going to use the smaller snowflakes that are on the second sheet to add some decoration to the inside of our card. Right? So the paper that we're going to be using today is, sorry, my dog hair there. My Penny finds a way of getting everywhere in this house. Then we're going to use some basic white. It's going to be our base, and then also the I'm losing my mind. I cannot remember the word that I wanted to use for this, but the first layer, it's actually the only layer that's going on here. So using basic white for that. So this card is, the basic white card base is 11 by 4 1/4, and it's scored at 5 1/2. Right? So I do have a piece of basic white on the inside that is 5 1/4 by 4 that we're going to use to just kind of layer it. I'm not using the thick basic white, so I added another layer onto the inside to just make it look more finished and feel a little bit more professional. Okay, so I'm using two pieces of card DSP that are available still. Once again, I'm using the Elegant Pine Snowflake Designer Series paper, and I'm using kind of like the back side of this one set of paper, but it looks like little snowflakes kind of all gathered together, flowing. At first I thought they were leaves, then the more I looked at them I thought, well, maybe they look like snowflakes, okay, like blurry snowflakes. And then we're also using, this is in the regular catalog, the Season of Elegance specialty designer paper. So it has this gold flaked in Peacock. It also has some other colors as well. It has old olive. It has real red with some cherry cobbler through it. And that's about it. But anyway, I thought we would use this pretty peacock color because it goes with the pretty peacock that's in the Snowflake Pines designer paper. So let me get this out of the way. So, good golly, I lost my sheet. Hang on just a second. All right, so some pieces that we are going to use today. Again, I already mentioned the 4 by 5 1/4 piece to go onto the inside. I have a piece of basic white. You can tell how old I am. 3/4 by 5 1/4 inch, and then also a piece of 2 by 5 1/4 inch. I have 2 1/2 inch by 4 1/4 inch cardstock of Pretty Peacock. We're going to use this to kind of line the inside of the card. We have 5 1/4 by 2 inch of the DSP from the Elegance Pine Snowflakes bundle. And then some scrap white. I have some of the, I can't remember what it's called. I just said the name too. That specialty paper that is called Seasons of Elegance. So I have some scrap to use to cut out the snowflakes. And what I did, is I actually put the, I can't remember what it's called. Again, my mind is going, adhesive sheets. Thank you. So some adhesive sheets on the back of this in order to cut out the snowflakes that I'm going to use in the bundle. And I already have those cut out, ready to go. And so here we have our little snowflakes. And then I have my little snowflakes, which I'll probably lose before the card is done, that we're going to use to put on the inside of our card. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and start by, let me grab my silicone sheet so I don't get glue everywhere. And here it is, just right in front of my face. I just couldn't see it. All right. So what I'm going to do is I like to use my grid paper to help me get this a little even, because what I want to do is I only want to have 1/8 of this showing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this here. I'm going to follow the grid. You can actually see it through the silicone mat to the grid paper. I'm going to just run a very small bead of glue down one side. And then I'm going to come over and I'm just going to kind of let 1/8 of an inch show, trying to keep it even, using the grid paper to kind of line it up. There we go. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the 3/4 piece. So again, I'm going to line that up. I'm going to put my glue on one end. Okay, again, I'm going to line it up for about 1/8 of an inch using my grid paper. And that's not 1/8 down at the bottom. There we go. That aside. Okay, so there we have our 2 pieces ready to go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my card base. Okay, I'm going to turn this over. I do have some glue on it. I don't want it to stick. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm just going to kind of lay this out, because I do want to see where exactly to put my designer series paper. I don't want to have it too far over on one side and then have it be not there. Okay, not to have it not enough and just be exposed. So we're going to talk about right there. So I'm going to move this so I can see my grid, to see kind of like where to put it. All right, so I'm going to line it up with my grid paper to about 6 3/4, and that should help me out. So that's just to get me to, so that I know where my paper should go. Okay. All right, so let me add some glue. All right, so I said 6 3/4. And I'm leaving some room at the top and the bottom, because I want to have that little white layer about 1/8 of an inch. Okay. And now, instead of gluing this down, you could glue this straight down. Okay. But I am going to use dimensionals. I'm going to pop it up a bit so that my stars, or my snowflakes, actually have a little pop to them, that they're not laying directly down. So dimensionals, I just had them right out. Here we go. I covered them up with the stamp set. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to kind of like layer them down. You could put them to the edges. They'll line up, but I think they'll be okay if you just put them in the center. You can see I'm using a good amount because I do want it to kind of like have that be steady. Take your pick tool. I'm going to start taking off these covers. Okay, and so now I'm ready to kind of line it up. So make sure that you're keeping your pretty peacock, or whatever color you decide to use, to the inside. Just lining it all up. Okay. And then the same thing, we're going to do this on this side with our other side, the 2-inch side. This time I'm going to go on both sides. And this is a little wider. I don't know that I use as many dimensionals going down as I did on the other piece, but there you go. All right, so let's go ahead and take off these slips. There we go. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make sure the lined edge is to the inside, and we're just going to line it up with the bottom of our designer series paper. And we're just going to kind of give it that 1/8 inch edge, and there we go. All right, so I went ahead and embossed with the gold embossing powder this your one-of-a-kind sentiment that we're going to put here on the outside of the card. And what I'm going to do is, I didn't cut it down, but I do want to make sure that it's this little hang off here, but then it lines up. So I'm going to grab my snips, and I'm just going to cut along, and then I'm going to use some glue, and we're just going to go ahead and glue it to our card base. Well, it's not really the card base anymore, it's that top layer. Okay, so I'm going to line that up there. I'm going to line it with the edge there. There we go. All right, and so now I'm going to take my snowflakes and I'm going to kind of like layer them up on the card. Now I did add adhesive sheet to these layers. So we're going to go ahead and peel off the backing. Hey, that's the word I was looking for the dimensionals. Okay. So here we go. We're going to take off that backing from the adhesive sheet. And then I'm just going to, on this first one, I'm just going to kind of like layer it. I don't want it to stick. I guess it could end up doing that, but I'm not going to put anything there I'm not going to push it down. Okay. So now on this one, I am going to add a piece of dimensional after I take off that backing. So what I want to do is cut a little bit of a dimensional, just a little piece from the edge. And once I take off the backing, I'm going to put it in the center here. So those of you that have good nails, you probably get this off a little better. You could, I've tried to take your pick tool back. It's so little and delicate that I can't make it quite work. Okay, so now I'm going to add that dimensional to the center here. just because I want to just kind of stay up. Okay, so now I'm going to kind of come up here. I want to get 3 of the sides of the snowflakes to stick. And I'm going to come up here and I'm going to have these kind of stick to each other. Trying to keep them from pressing down. Okay. And then we have our last one. And this one I kind of want to go to both sides of the thing. That's just my personal preference. Actually, you can make it a little, again, 3-sided over here. Just however you like to lay down, whatever looks pleasing to you, that's how you're going to lay these out. Okay. All right, so here. And again, I want to take your pick tool, and I just want to kind of like have them kind of stick a little bit together. Okay. There we go. And then we have the outside of a card, very simple. And now for the inside of the card, you can add thank you with one of your stamp sets. You can add whatever sentiment you like to put into here. And I'm just going to take the backing off these smaller snowflakes. It's a little kind of a... And I just like having the one big one at the top and the 3 smaller ones kind of at the bottom. Oh, I had it apart and it went back together. All right. Well, these little ones are more finicky, but I like having it because it's harder to get glue on them. And then we'll add that there. And now we're ready to add it to the inside of our card. All right. We're just trying to keep it equal on all 4 sides. And now we're going to take our bone folder and we're just going to fold this over. And I'm going to try to go under the dimensionals so I don't squash my dimensionals down too much. But there we go. So there we have our one-of-a-kind thank you card. You're one of a kind. So if anyone would be interested in these to make these cards, I can send you all the pieces. The only thing I cannot do is I can't do the stamping for you. So you would have to use your own sentiments, whatever you have, but I'll send you all the pieces, all the designer papers to make this card and my other Snowflake Kisses card, which I don't know where it is at the moment. Sorry about that. I would pull it up and show it to you again, but I don't know where it is at the moment. But if you would make a purchase between now and January 1st in my, or before January 1st on my online store at www.softwindcrafting.stampinup.net, I'll send you enough to make 4 cards, 2 of each of the set, and that's $50 before taxes and shipping and handling, and after you use your Stampin' Rewards that you may have on your account. but I'd be so happy to be your demonstrator. So if you're interested in being able to make these cards and having me send you the pieces to make it, you'll just need your own ink, your own Versamark, and embossing powder. You'll need your own glue and dimensionals, but other than that, I'll send you all the other pieces ready to go, including the snowflakes already on the adhesive sheets. So again, I hope y'all have a great Christmas and a very blessed New Year. Thank you for joining me this afternoon.